Okay, we're going to continue our final exam review for Math 1033. I want to look at questions number 16, 17, and 18 on this video, tied into your review. Again, they all involve the concept of lines or linear functions. Let's go ahead with me to my paper, and we'll look at those three problems. All right. Question number 16 starts off by giving me the equation of the line y equals negative 5x plus 4. Now, this line, or this equation, y equals negative 5x plus 4, is already in slope-intercept form. So that means the number in front of the x is the slope. So negative 5 is the slope. Now the first question this problem asks me is, name me the slope of a line, of any line that would be parallel to this line. Well, one fact that you need to remember is that if two lines are parallel, basically if they're climbing at the same rates, which is what parallel means, their slopes would be equal. So any line that is parallel to this line would have the same slope. This slope is negative 5, therefore my line would have slope negative 5. So parallel is easy. The next concept is perpendicular. Perpendicular means that the two lines meet at right angles to each other. What you need to remember about perpendicular is this. It's a little bit harder. If two lines are perpendicular, their slopes are opposite reciprocals of each other. What that means in English is, you take the number, okay, in this case you take negative 5 to start with. If I want to find its opposite reciprocal, that means that instead of it being negative, it would be positive. And to take the reciprocal of 5, you know that we would write 1/5. We would, flip top and bottom. So the correct answer to what would a line be if it was perpendicular to this one would be a positive 1/5. You don't have to write the positive sign. I'm just showing you that for emphasis. So parallel means the slopes are equal. They're the same. Perpendicular means the slopes are opposite reciprocals. So that means you change the sign of the original number and you take its reciprocal. Another way to check that you've done perpendicular right is if you take the original slope and you take your new slope and you multiply them together, you should come out with the answer negative 1. And if you took negative 5 and you multiplied it by 1/5, you would get negative 1. That's a way to check it. All right, question number 17 asks you to draw a line whose slope is 0. And what you need to remember, if a line has slope 0, that basically means that you're not going uphill or downhill, you're basically staying flat line. Flat line would look just like this. Okay? It's not how you would want to see the monitor recording your vitals at a hospital. Is that a good way to say it? All right? Basically, that's what slope equals 0 means. It's a flat line, which is also sometimes called a horizontal line. So anytime you see a horizontal line, you're seeing a line whose slope is 0. Think of it as a treadmill at the gym that you have not yet tilted up. It's just very flat, kind of for a beginning jogger to learn until they start making it a little bit steeper. So anytime you have slope 0, you have a horizontal line. Now, question number 18 asks to draw a line that has no slope. Sometimes no slope also means undefined slope, and that line would be a perfectly vertical line. The reason this line has no slope, a gut level reason, is you couldn't just walk straight up this line. That would be impossible to do. Now mathematically, the reason it has no slope is because the change in x on this line would be 0. And if you remember the definition of slope, change in y over the change in x, you can't have 0 in a denominator. But leaving that aside, the easiest, quickest way to remember no slope, if I asked you to draw a line that you could not walk up, that would be a vertical line. So a horizontal line has a slope. It's equal to 0. Okay, kind of think of your cruise ship in the water. You want your cruise ship gliding along at slope 0, right? No tilt to your cruise ship. This is not how you ever want to see your cruise ship, is straight up and down in the water. You got it? Okay, no slope is vertical.